What's good, y'all? Hi, it's your man here. For the love of God, can we please put a tariff on podcast equipment? I am tired of seeing these fucking alpha male brain rot fucking podcasts all over TikTok. And every time I see one, I lose more brain cells every time. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Oh my God. I just got done binge watching a whole bunch. I screen recorded them. We're going to react to them, and I guess maybe break down why they're wrong. Even, oh my God, no, we're not even going to do that. We're just going to make fun of them for how fucking stupid they are. The podcast we're focusing on today, even though there was a lot of them, is called Digital Social Hour. And it is some of the most brain-rotted I've ever seen in my life. All of it is untrue, misinformation, pseudoscience, every fancy term for the word for being fucking wrong. This podcast is the physical embodiment of the term, bro, let's start a podcast. Some people just shouldn't be allowed to make podcasts, man. I'm telling you, this is some, we're just gonna get into it, man. I don't like long intros. I just like getting right into the fucking meat and bones of everything.
Gravity ain't real. There ain't no such thing as gravity. It's Freemason symbolism. It's all bullshit. There's no such thing as gravity. Why does a rock fall in the water? Because of gravity? Don't you bullshit me. Why does a rock fall in the water?
Because it's him.
What's the word for it? Come on. Yes! Yes! Density's why things fall. Things don't fall because of gravity.
What the f*** do you mean? No, dumb. What are you talking about? Do you mean weight or something? Like, what are you trying to get at here? Oh yeah, bro, gravity isn't real. It's all symbolism, dude. Gave no proof, substantiated nothing. Density is an element, I guess. Yes, rocks are very dense things, and so they'll fall faster, I guess, but that doesn't disprove gravity. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the clips are always so short, because there's no point in letting them yap any further. They just talk about nothing. All right? I find it hard to even react to a lot of them, because it's like, what are you even saying? It's just stupid people who get on a podcast because someone with a microphone walked up to them on the street. Probably a homeless man. He walked up to a homeless man with a mic and said, hey, listen, we'll give you $10 and maybe a slap on the ass if you just get on the podcast list for 15 minutes, man.
He's used to live to 900. He's used to live to 900 plus years old. That's
no, they didn't.
No, they talk about it in the Bible. Noah lived to be 900 plus years old.
That's where we're stopping there. There are absolutely no historical records and any biology at all of humans living to 900 years old. That never happened. I'm sorry to break it to you, man. I don't know what fucking rock you live under, man. We never lived to 900. And you using the Bible for scientific proof is not... It's not the gotcha you think it is, when it is the one book that is kind of like... It is the least scientific book, because it's based on faith and religion, not science. And that's not me being like fucking atheist or anything over here. I'm just saying, like, hey, the Bible is not a great source for anything scientific.
How you think? Have you ever?
What about planets and stars then? What are those?
Well, they exist, but they're not how you think. Have you ever? Let's just say Saturn. You've seen a picture of Saturn. You can go in and Google it right now. What does Saturn look like?
Has the rings and it's orange.
It's all AI generated. It's not a real picture of Saturn. I've looked in telescopes. What? I've looked in high-powered telescopes.
Shut the fuck up! All the pictures of Saturn is AI generated, and no proof of that claim whatsoever. He just says they're all AI generated. And yet, he can just openly look in a high-powered telescope and see it for himself. All right, man, sure. Would that not be the most obviously, like, disprovable thing ever? If the computers were all AI generated and fake, and anyone can just look into a fucking high-powered telescope and see it, and no one's uploaded pictures of what Saturn actually looks like from a high-powered telescope, no one's ever done that, apparently, according to you? Even though that would be a big news story, would it not? Oh, the government's trying to get after them and suppress it. Then how come you can get on a fucking podcast and talk about it in front of millions of people on TikTok? The government's not suppressing shit, you're just actually fucking stupid.
No stitches. What would you do if your arm got chopped off?
First thing I would do is urinate on it. Definitely not panic and definitely not go to a hospital. I would just rub butter and honey on it and raw meat every single day. Wake up the next morning, it'll all be absorbed. It'd be like, where did the raw meat go? It just absorbs into the skin. Eventually it would heal and grow back. You shouldn't even have a scar after a few years, but...
Wow, so no stitches. What would you...
Fucking God, this motherfucker. First, this guy says humans live 900 years. Then this guy says Saturn is AI generated, and now he's saying that you can grow an arm back by rubbing butter and honey on it and putting raw meat on it because it'll absorb the raw meat. You're actually, you gotta be trolling. The sad thing is, I know he's not trolling. This is a very legitimate fucking podcast, and this guy genuinely believes all the shit he spouts. I really wish he didn't, man. It should be embarrassing to say this shit. Your arm gets chopped off. Oh yeah, what I would do, man, urinate on it, fucking piss on your arm, not go to a hospital. No, that's who fucking goes to hospitals, right? No. You urinate on it, rub butter and honey on it. I don't know what the logic is there. That makes no fucking sense. And put raw meat on it. That's gonna give you a fucking infection. What you're gonna have after that is it's not gonna soak into the arm and amalgamate as part of your body and connect to your tissue. That's not how shit works, no. Unless you mean a transplant, which is a very real thing that does happen in real life. But I know that's not what you mean. I think you mean you grabbing a piece of steak and tying that on an arm with butter and honey and just letting it sit. No, that's how you end up with an infection through your arm and body and probably death.
For your speaking of school, you recently said school is one of the most dangerous places for your child to be, right?
I think schools are.
They just talk about anything. They will get any guest they can find. They just put on these fucking podcasts. Oh yeah, school is the most dangerous place for your kids to be. And I know for a fact they're not talking about shootings. I know he's gonna talk about woke LGBTQ plus topics. I guarantee it's what he's gonna be yapping about. And I'm not sitting here for that shit. Where do they find these people? Like, where do they get these people? I swear, they do just grab homeless people off the street and hire them. How do they not break down laughing? You know they don't believe any of this shit. They're looking at this guy like he's crazy. They don't believe a single thing this motherfucker is spouting. But I don't know how they hold their laughs. I couldn't do it, man. I would be laughing my ass off.
They used to train their military staff to get out of their body and go remote view the Soviets.
Astral. My fucking God. We're going to see a couple more clips from this girl right here because she believes in, like, astral projection and shit and how they used to... No evidence at all, by the way. There's no evidence for this at all. They never trained soldiers or anything to astral project out of their bodies to go view the Soviet. That never happened. That just never happened. You're literally just lying. You're just lying.
Have you remote viewed Antarctica yet?
Oh, I have. And that's where another remote viewer kicked me out.
Oh.
Like, he found me.
What the
Yeah, they don't mess around there.
They do not mess around there. It's sort of just, floating down this hallway, right, in my astral body.
I'm not listening to this. Dude, oh my fucking God. Another remote viewer kicked you out. So the government has fucking psychics who can astral project out of their bodies to kick out other astral projectors. You got booted out of the server. You got kicked out the server? Like, what are you talking about right now? What do you mean, what are they hiding in Antarctica? What is there to hide in Antarctica? What is there to hide? Penguins? What are you actually, like, yammering on about right now? It's literally nothing. The ability to say absolutely nothing at all and talk for this long is impressive. Like, y'all are having spiritual space wars up in the sky right now. What? I'm sorry, but you cannot convince me for a second you didn't pop a tab or something and start imagining fighting people with their spirit in the sky and shit. You cannot convince me. That's not exactly what happened.
You think women lie more than men?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I am a woman, and I know how much I used to lie.
You're lying right now. Yes. No studies, no statistics, nothing. No. The logic of I'm a woman, so I automatically know all women. Wonderful. All right, man, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you right there. I mean, you're a woman, and so, I guess you automatically just do know all women. I just love how it goes from fucking astral projection, dinosaurs rubbing butter, honey, and meat on a missing limb to, women, am I right? Women are so crazy, right? Us real men talk about rubbing fucking butter and honey on our missing limbs. But women are the crazy, they're the crazy ones, man. The bitches, man, they're so fucking crazy. Always lying and shit. This whole podcast is you lying. Bro, women lie so fucking much, Meanwhile, this entire podcast is built off of a foundation of falsehoods, lies, tricking the unfortunate, tricking the uneducated, who have never gone to a high school or college in their life, who work at Burger King.
But you're awake. That's the feeling.
How many of your past lives do you remember? Do you remember all of them?
Not all of them, many of them, but mainly 2 of them are the ones that have...
All right, man. You know what? I don't even know how to respond to this. Oh, yeah, he had a past life living in Atlantis. Maybe you should take medication. Is this just the way, like, alpha male podcasters create OCs in their head? By imagining them as past lives? I like to imagine that. Oh yeah, I just got the feeling in this head, like I got the idea of this guy who's like really strong, buff guy who lived in Atlantis. Is that not just you like imagining an OC in your head, an original character? Is that just not like, it sounds like this is just like a creative person who, in another world, he would be drawing Niku Binder, Thomas Jefferson, and shit like that. This is what happens to the creative people who come up with that in their heads, but fall into the right-wing alpha male pipeline. This is what happens. They just imagine it as how it's, oh, it was a past life of mine. And they get to explain their OC lore.
Cancer is not a disease, it's a survival mechanism. All the toxicity through our diet,
I'm pausing right there. What the fuck do you mean cancer is not a disease? It is a survival mechanism. What are you talking about? Your body not getting cancer is a survival mechanism. When you get sunburned, your cells can turn cancerous, and so your cells are literally dying. They're literally, I can't say the word, but your cells are dying off in order to avoid becoming cancerous. Your body tries its hardest to not become cancerous, to not get cancer.
Style stress. It needs a place to house those toxins. So they house it in what's called a tumor to protect you. Cancer is not trying to kill you.
You realize there's more, that cancer doesn't just come in the form of tumors, right? There's also cancer through your bloodstream, which does kill you, and even cancer with tumors also kills you. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
The same. So you don't actually need the biopsy. In fact, most people don't actually die from cancer. They die from the treatment of cancer. Remember that if we're dealing with healthcare.
I can't even joke about that shit. What the fuck are you doing right now? You are hopping online and fear-mongering cancer, talking about, and this video has 3,000 likes, by the way. 3,000 people believe this shit. No, absolutely not. That is a bullshit statistic you made up in your mind. Oh, who would have guessed the majority of people who die from cancer are also undergoing cancer treatment? Who would have guessed, man? And by your logic that it's the medical treatment that kills people, then how come cancer has been killing us for hundreds of thousands of years, and cancer in other animals kills them without treatment? Ever think of that one? Oh, how come when dogs and cats and guinea pigs get cancer with no treatment, they fucking die? It's a death sentence without treatment for those animals. And it's a death sentence without treatment for us as well. Because he's trying to sell holistic weight loss guides and shit like that on the TikTok shop. All for money. The pursuit of money means screwing people over. Older people who are, who want to get rid of cancer, who are scared of going under treatment and chemotherapy and the radiation and stuff, they see this kind of and they'll believe it, and they won't take these treatments, and they will end up dying because of this. People will end up dying because of the information you're spreading. With
healthcare, so there's no money to be made off healthy humans. And so when they prick the tumor, they're opening it up.
By that logic, there's no money to be made off of dead humans either. Just shut the fuck up, man. Like, you are just taking advantage of people to sell your bullshit online course, holistic shit. It's scummy and disgusting. It's scummy and disgusting behavior, genuinely. And you should be ashamed for coming online and talking about that shit. I can't even joke about this, genuinely. It's stupid, you know it's bullshit, and you are using that to trick people and to get money out of them. That's the fact of the matter.
Do you know how the pyramids were built in Egypt?
A part of it. I can remember that the priests and priestesses did everything with sound. So they have these specific stones and canes.
Now he's yapping on bullshit. Alright, we're getting a fucking follow-up on the guy who created his own Atlantis OC. Getting a part 2 to the story. This time our travels take us to Egypt, where he says they used sound to create the pyramids, which they didn't. They used pulleys. We know this. I mean, that's how it... We know how they built the pyramids. It's not exactly It's not exactly like new information. And I know people who genuinely believe this shit. I used to think people didn't actually believe any of this shit, but it was a teacher. A teacher believed in my Florida school of Gulf Breeze High. There was a teacher there who didn't do any actual classes, but he ran the in-school suspension, ISS. He ran ISS, right? And he would sit there and he would have Tucker Carlson on Fox News on all the time. And he would be yapping about a new conspiracy theory and shit. He would always buy gold and silver. And he genuinely believed that the pyramids were made using sound. No poison like that. He believed the pyramids were used with sound. Same teacher, by the way, was a racist, by the way. Same teacher was a racist. I remember there was a black girl in the class once, and she was asking him how she could look more pretty. And this black girl was like, I think she was like around 6 foot tall, 6'1", and I think she played volleyball or basketball or something like that, right? And so she asked the teacher, "Hey, how do you think I can make myself look more pretty?" And no hesitation, and I promise you on my soul, I'm not lying. He genuinely looked at her and he said, "Be shorter and white." I am not lying. That is genuinely, he said, "Be shorter and white. That's how you can be more pretty." Dude, I'm like, oh my fucking God. He also had a metal mug that said leftist tears on it. So that man was a character. I have several stories involving him, by the way. If y'all want to hear more about that, more about my life and shit. But yeah, that man was fucking crazy. That dude genuinely racist as shit. And I would tell teachers about him and how he's spreading false information and shit. They never listen to me. So I don't know. I do believe he quit after that and he stopped with all the bullshit. I don't know if he stopped, but he did quit teaching. So that's a good thing. Thank God. Yeah, he used to let kids bully me in ISS for being fat, and he would get in on the fat jokes too. He would bully me, bro. I don't get him, bro. That racist, fat phobic, homophobic, definitely. By the way, yeah, that man was fucking crazy. He did a whole bunch of crazy, weird shit, man. I never forget that ISS teacher, bro. I think his name is Mr. Kelly, if he's watching this.
Salmonella is a good thing. It helps your body, helps digest things. It's not a bad thing. Everyone's like, salmonella, you might die. You have salmonella in your gut right now. If you throw up in a petri dish, we can do the little science thing. We can go to a lab and you will have salmonella in that throw up, whether it's a lot or a little. And when you get sick and you have diarrhea, that's not bad. That is your body's way of soaping and detoxing. And
what the fuck? Oh my God, I cannot deal with this guy. Let's Google this right now, right? Like, let's see. First result, let's see. No, salmonella does not naturally live in the human gut. First result disproves this guy. And yes, in some instances, salmonella can cause death. I don't know what you are talking about right now, man. And when you are infected, yes, it is bad for you. It is not detoxing your body. It is causing your body aches, cramps, pains, diarrhea, etc., and can lead to death.
Do you believe the earth is flat?
I know the earth is flat.
Seriously?
Astrology and flat earth or true earth are symbiotic. You cannot have one without the other. If you have a ball and you are spinning, flying through space, chasing this fireball, your constellations would change every now and then.
Okay, okay, I don't know what the fuck this even means. Your constellations, I think that's what, isn't that like Aquarius and shit? I'm an Aquarius. In case anyone fucking knew that. I don't believe in astrology personally, nor does it prove the earth is flat.
An anxiety attack, your anxiety is giving me anxiety.
So you think it's transferable?
I think so, absolutely. And I think if anyone has suffered from anxiety and someone's in the room having an anxiety attack, you're going to feel it. And it's an empathic thing. And that's why
that's just called feeling empathy. Yeah, if someone's having an anxiety attack next to you, you're probably gonna have some anxiety from that. That's called being like that's called being a human and having empathy for what others are going through, right? And possibly worrying about what's happening. Yeah, your anxiety is gonna rise if someone's having anxiety near you, like an anxiety attack, or they're getting really bad anxiety near you. That might rub off on you. I can see that happening. This is the same girl. I think this is the same girl who was doing the space shit. Stick to astral bodies and all that.
thing. And that's why we need to get outside of the medication and the MD.
How did you turn this into a medication thing? What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, when someone's having an anxiety attack near me, I start getting a little bit of anxiety too, you know? It kind of rubs off on me. And that's why I really think, stop taking your medication, 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 stop taking your medication. Alright, this is the last one we're doing because my brain cells cannot go on any longer. I have to end this video here. So we got 5 clips right here we're going to go over. And we're just going to, you know, react, make some fun. We're just going to have a little bit of fun with this, honestly. So
the Earth was round, right? And you were to fly literally straight across without pointing the nose down to stay with the curvature, then you would just fly into outer space and land somewhere else.
Ah, yes. Because that's how things work. No, that's not how things work. Planes rely on lift and thrust, and they remain within Earth's atmosphere. They're based off the gravity of around the planet. Around the planet is gravity, and that's holding the. I'm not gonna fucking rack my. I'm not gonna even fucking waste my time.
Urine is the number one anti-aging resource, as far as I'm concerned, by far. Urea is the only clinically proven skin moisturizer in the world. Urea is urine.
Your skin looks amazing. So are you rubbing?
Yeah, rubbing urine on your face. I've seen this before. There was a guy on here, like a fucking carnivore guy, who like drank his own like fermented urine and shit. I don't want to get into it. It's fucking gross.
This is why you can't even mix different fruits. You know, if you take a banana and you mix it with a blueberry in a smoothie, it voids the nutrients of that.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Where did people ever live where tropical fruit?
I fucking love the reaction of the guy. He's like, "Oh no way, I didn't know that." He's like a fucking child hearing this shit. Nutrients don't just disappear when you blend fruits together. That's not how that works at all. The nutrients don't just disappear out of nowhere.
Where did people ever live where tropical fruit grew in the same place as bush fruit?
So because the fruits aren't from the same place, it automatically voids the nutrients? What are you even doing right now? That doesn't prove anything. Oh yeah, so because 2 fruits that wouldn't normally interact with each other in a smoothie, it automatically voids all the nutrients. So I guess if you ate a banana and some blueberries separately, they would still mix in your gut and that would still void all the nutrients, according to your logic, right?
You cannot catch a virus, it's not alive.
You cannot catch a virus.
No, you cannot.
What?
Have you ever seen a virus? Let's Google this right now.
Picture of a virus.
Picture. Do any of these look like something that you see under a microscope? This is all AI generated.
What
the fuck is this?
Type in under a microscope.
This has to be the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life, genuinely. Bro, look at all this. Look at they're all computer generated. It's almost like when you want a clear image of a virus, you use a computer 3D modeling simulation of what it looks like to get the all-around view. You don't just look at it directly under a microscope. Go on and look up under a microscope, and I'm pretty sure you tells the guy in the video, look up under a microscope and you'll see viruses under a microscope. And every time this guy gets like proven wrong, whatever, he goes to Google, he's like, that's his like number one thing. It's AI generated, bro. That's obviously AI generated. You realize we couldn't AI generate photos even like 5 years ago, right? That's a very new thing. Bro has seen the recent AI technology. He's seen the recent AI and he's just thinking everything is now that. And when he's talking about that has existed for 10, 20, 30 years now. No, it's not AI generated. Shut the up.
Aliens are great. I've had great experiences with extraterrestrial beings.
Nice. When was your first one?
Well, the first time that I connected was by my own invocation. I loved to connect with them, call them in, get familiar with.
Oh yeah, you can just talk to aliens. Oh yeah, I like to just call them in. You know, when I bought a space telephone, called in some aliens. We had some conversations. They were really nice guys. You know, we got a Vlorknock the Destroyer. He was actually real sweetheart on the inside. My IQ has probably dropped 5 points just from this video alone. Hopefully, you guys enjoy my suffering and you can get some good laughs out of people being just genuinely fucking stupid. Yeah, hey, I love you guys. Definitely see y'all later. Peace out. Hi, team out. Love you. Subscribe to make me less broke. I keep on forgetting to say that, but subscribe to make me less broke. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all.